And you start by giving the cards a shuffle. And what I love about an overhand shuffle like this is the way real people shuffle cards, number one, okay? Number two, it's a little sloppy. It's inherently a little bit messy, so people totally trust it. And you say, I'm going to spread out the cards. You're going to have you pick a card, and they really can touch any card they want. Doesn't matter. They touch a card, you turn the card over. In this case, it's the 2 of clubs. You say, along with the 2 of clubs, we're going to use the 51 other cards, okay? We're also going to leave the 2 about in the middle. Going to also use the card case in this trick. And you take the card case. You say, look, I'm going to put the cards on top of the case. Going to close the case here. And you say, this is not an ordinary case. I did something in this case to make it unlike any other card case you've ever seen. Right now, you can't see it. Or actually, it's there, but it's such a small thing you probably can't see it. You let them lean in, they can see that there's a staple. There's a single staple that you stapled through one side of the card case. You say, of course, you're thinking of your 2 clubs somewhere, we know, somewhere in the pack. They can give the cards a little bit of a shuffle if they want, okay? And a mess, just like people do. Have them hold up their hand. You put the case on top. You put the deck on top like this and say, what I'm going to try to do is have the card you chose. I'm going to have it try to melt down wherever it is. It could be 5 from the top. It could be near the bottom. I don't know. Wherever it is, I'm going to try to have your card. I want you to put your hands on top. So they're in this beautiful image of their hands on the bottom, their hands on the top, and you ask them to push, to gently push, to see if I can cause your card to actually shift down 5 cards. Wherever it's now, give a push, see if we can get it to melt 5 cards down. Push again, another 5 cards. Push a little tighter, another 5. And finally, let's have it go not just to the bottom of the deck, but I want your card that you're thinking of to fuse. I want it to melt. The very bottom here, want it to melt right on to the staple. That staple through the card case. They push, they push. You ask them to remove the cards. They do. And the card's not on bottom, and the card is not even melted to the staple. So it's a bit weird. Then you ask them to, well, go through the cards. They go through the cards, and they go through the cards. They impossibly find their 2 of clubs, the one they chose, is not among any of the cards. It's gone into thin air. Your hands are empty. There's nothing. You go, and you act confused too, of course. You go, wait a second. We want the card to melt down and fuse onto the staple. Once before I did this, and go ahead, open the card case. And when they open the card case, they find that their selected card, freely selected, shuffle deck, has in fact fused onto the staple, but it's inside, stapled in place, fused. Absolutely an impossible effect, an impossible image, and everything can be closely examined. This is such a fun and absolutely unforgettable feat of magic, all right? Now, in just a moment, I'm going to reveal all the secrets to this cool trick. I'm going to show you every little aspect of it. It involves a bunch of different techniques you may not be familiar with, which is always fun for those of you who have been watching my videos, hopefully for decades. However, if you're newer to this kind of thing, I'm also going to give you a few suggestions of alternative ways that you can accomplish the same effect for people, but with less advanced techniques, less advanced sleight of hand, okay? So we're going to learn all the secrets to this unforgettable trick on this video. In a moment, I'm also going to announce the winners from the last contest. So that's kind of fun. I'm going to announce the winners from the last contest I had on my last video. And I'm going to give you a chance. In fact, let's just jump in, and I'm going to ask you the question of the week. Because what I do is on most of my videos, I give people an opportunity to win some magic prizes. If you want to check out any of my magic merch that I give away on all my videos, you can go to sankeymagic.com. sankeymagic.com to check out all my stuff. The question of the week, though, and what am I going to give away this week? What am I giving away this week? I got to figure this out here. Let's give away Incredibill. I'm going to give away Incredibill. Now, Incredibill is this cool gimmick that allows you to do startling visual transformations inside a folded bill. You can do stuff with cards. You can do stuff with your business cards, dollar bills, all this stuff with Incredibill. Here's the question. Leave a comment down below and answer this question. Because this involves a stapler. So, really an organic question this week, and that is, tell me something strange that you can think of to do with a stapler. Something with a stapler that people hardly ever use a stapler for, okay? It could be anything, okay? Something weird, something funny, something troubling, something illegal. Some weird use for a stapler that you probably have never heard of before. Something straight from your weird old imagination, because a lot of people like magic are kind of weird like me. So if you're like me, you've got a thought in your head. So leave a comment down below, and I'm going to randomly draw 12. And then on the next video, we'll let you know who won Incredible, okay? So that's the question of the week. Okay, now before I take you deep into the beginning, the middle, and the end of this trick, and we look at this setup and this and that, I want to look at two quick techniques, okay? One is the card force. Now, if you've been doing card magic for a while, you probably have a few forces you use. There is the crisscross force, there is a riffle force, and different things. I'm going to assume you already have a force you like, but I'm going to teach you this force now. This is a variation on my Wichita switch or Wichita slip. I never remember what it's called, which I think is a reflection of a healthy ego, because I'm not, getting too obsessed with holding on to the titles of my different card ideas, right? So this is a bottom card force. So the first technique I used here was I have a 2 of clubs. It's on the bottom of the deck to start, and this shuffle, the overhand shuffle, okay, which looks so natural and so convincing, and nobody, I do think there's something to be said for fancy, nice-looking shuffles, but also you're shouting, hey, I'm controlling the cards. You're saying, hey, my skill is so great that when I say it's random, I'm probably secretly controlling things, is what you're saying. But this looks so sloppy, right? Now, this overhand shuffle allows me to keep the bottom card in place. So simple. All I'm doing is with the tips of the left fingers, I'm holding the card in place just by squeezing. Just a little just a squeeze. I'm able to squeeze, slight gentle squeeze, is the top and bottom cards are staying in place. And then what's called shuffling off. I'm running off, just a squeeze here. Little squeeze with the fingers, the card stays there. Shuffle, 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 dropping cards everywhere he goes. Pulling, just a little squeeze, keeps these 2 cards in place. So the bottom card always stays the 2 of clubs, because right now those 2 cards, then I shuffle off, and the 2 of clubs is forever staying on the bottom. I'm keeping it there. So it's a beautiful, what's called a control, and now I know it's on the bottom card. Now, I spread out the cards, have them touch any card, and it's going to look like I push off the card they touch, and I turn that card over. That's what it looks like. That's the large action. The small action is I'm actually pushing off the top card, then I'm buckling. Now, this is not an easy move, I'll tell you. If you've got moist fingertips, okay, you can maybe just push off them with your fingers. You don't need to buckle. I've done it before, where I'm here, I've got that card out, I just push this card off the bottom, come over, my fingers, and as I turn over the card, I actually just turn the bottom card over. So it's the bottom card coming off the bottom, right? These fingers are grabbing it. This is the exposed view here, but from the top, they don't see this large action of you turning it over, leaving it on top, okay? That large action covers it. But if you're going to do the buckle, which is more dependable, the buckle is this. I've got a bit of a bend in the cards. Pushing off, I'm going to pull the cards actually back towards my hand. In. My fingers are going in, which separates that 1 card and pushes it out. You'll find if you work on buckling, squeeze and then push, it'll always separate the 1 card from the packet. Much more dependably than this hoping it's always going to be that card, okay? But a little bit of moisture on my fingertips always helps. So I go through, they touch any card, and look, it looks exactly like I'm turning that card over. Nice large action, but it was actually the bottom card. So that's one way I force the card. Then I show the card here. And notice, in this case, what I did is I took the cards out of the case, okay? Had the case off to the side. We'll come back to that in a second. So that is the false shuffle. That is the force. Now, I put the 2 of clubs. They see it cleanly. I square it inside the pack. But what's really cool is the 2 of clubs is actually over here in my hand. Now, this is an advanced card magic technique. I'm going to show you in a moment an easier way to do this, okay? But I think you'd agree to all the world that it really looks like I put that 2 of clubs in the middle of the pack. It really looks like it. It really looks like I square it into the cards, okay? And it really looks like it stays there when, in fact, I have it here. This is a Tenkai strip out. I know, you gotta love the Tenkai strip out. Is that even legal anymore? Gotta love it. But it's going in, okay? And what I'm doing here is I'm going to, it looks like I square it in, but the exposed view is I actually kick the card on an angle. Then, as it looks like I square it in, and I bring my, I actually bring my left thumb As I apparently square the card into the pack, look what's happening. I'm actually pushing it out to the side. So it's here. Now it looks like it's squared in, but the actual condition is this. And you will find with not too much practice, as I take the deck in the left hand, being careful to keep the fingers toward the front of the pack, with just a slight contraction, just by squeezing like this, the muscle at the base of the pinky and the side of my thumb, is I'm able to pull the card right out of the pack into what's called Tenkai palm. Now, this palm, if you hold your hand here, people start wondering, oh, is this the vanishing thumb trick? Where's his damn thumb? Honey, let's get out of here. Creep man is making me creepy. But in fact, if you're going to your pocket, or if I'm going to go get the card case from my pocket or off camera here, it flows so nicely. Look to all the world. So what's the impression? They touched any card. We all saw it. Put it back in the middle. It's in among the cards. But in fact, I forced the card, right? And it's now off camera. Or if this was in my pocket, I went to my jacket pocket to get it, or my car, or my magic case, went off, dropped the card, and came back. So here we are. So we now know how to shuffle the cards, control the card. We know how to force that card with the flip over move, the Wichita slip variation, and we know how to get the card out with a palm like that. Okay, now let's go back to the beginning. To prepare for this, you're going to need two of clubs. Is that a 4 of clubs? No, it's two of clubs. I got 1 2 of clubs. And what I did, and this is a tip for you guys, is you're going to find with a standard stapler that you can't just put it in and on top here and staple, because this is going to get in the way. So you fold this flap in a little bit, shortening the distance from here to the staple point. You want the staple point to not be near the end, but closer to the middle. Now you can put a 2 of clubs face up inside, put it in, okay? Fold this, hold it in place, take a stapler, put it in here like this, and crunch like that. So now the flap is not stapled, everything's free and loose except this card is stapled inside. I've got my other 2 of clubs. It's on the bottom of my pack. Let's assume I want to do this. What's nice about this trick is it's so strong and so magical that if you only were going to do one card trick for people, you could count on the power of this trick, this one card trick, okay? So you're here. You're all set up to go. Open the case. When you take out the cards, you want to make sure that they don't get a glimpse of that card, so you sort of dump them this way. You can close up the case. Just put it off to the side real casually. So it's off to the side, it's in your pocket, it's in your case, whatever. There it is. Now, it's on the bottom. We do our false shuffle. Now, if you didn't want to do a false shuffle, that would be fine. It could start on the bottom. The card could start on top, and I bet if you've been doing card magic for a little while, you know a very simple force to force the top card. Either way, we force the card. Now, you need to make the card, people, when they see it here, everybody is going to wonder, is maybe the card still in the card case, right? They're going to do that. So that's why you need to get rid of this card. Now, if you don't want to do this Tenkai palm or another palm, very easy technique would be have this in your jacket pocket or off the card case or in your magic case, whatever you got. And while holding the deck, all you do is swing both hands over, right? Grab it and come back out. And what I've done is in that moment, I've pushed the top card and I left it there. Or you could do the same thing in your pocket. Looking for the case in your, you just push off the top card and leave it in your pocket. Very easy to do. So I've got rid of that. We're done. And now, of course, the ending. Why should people care about the trick? This is the big question. One of the keys is you need to care about it. And if you show that something special is happening, something that's got your attention, it's going to pull them in. Also, I am always about building the impossibility of what I do. If you were to make the card vanish, boom, go through the cards, it's gone. Look, it's inside the card case stapled in place. Right? It's inexplicable, but it's also confusing. So you don't want to confuse people. You also, so what I'd rather do is say, so your card is somewhere in here. You can even have the spectator shuffle the cards. And you say, I'm going to see if by pushing on top of the cards, you can cause your card to melt down through 5 cards. That'd be cool. Now, where is the card? How do we know it's 5 cards? But the fact that you're able to melt it down in their hands after they shuffle, that's a cool trick. Actually, we're going to make it go to the bottom. Okay. It's not on bottom now. But if you can make my card in my hands by me pushing appear on the bottom, melting down, now we're talking about an amazing trick. We're going to go one step further. Actually, if you feel here, you can feel that staple there? Yeah, I'm going to have your card melt onto that staple. Say what? I'm going to have the card melt through all the cards and melt onto the staple. Okay, so that I would very much like to see Magic Man, right? But it's going to be even more impossible, right? Because it appears inside the card case, stapled inside. So all along you're clarifying and building. And this is the key to expert level amazing magic moments. So now we're all set here. They're here. They're here. You're using the presentation. You have them pushed down, whatever. You're like this, and you open up the card case, or they open up the card case. Now, one last detail that's super important about what order you do things. But before we jump in, here are the winners. My last contest, I was giving away Unharmed, a very cool gimmick, which as always, you can check out Unharmed at SankeyMagic.com, my merchandise site. Here are the winners. I hope you won this week. Frankie Delish. Oh, that Frankie. He's delicious. John Taylor. Michael Wire. Wire, okay. Quince Granger. Kakva Diti. It's D-E-E-T-I. Kakva Diti, you won. Mad Paper People, you won. Anna Danielle, Stephen Lee, Kevin Ogren. It's almost like Ogre. Kevin Ogren, sorry. Tim Carper, Sean Blakely, and Mitchell Cooper Smith. You all won. As I say all the time, just email my team at contact@Sankey. Is that an ampersand? At SankeyMagic.com. Let them know your real name. Let them know your YouTube name if it's different. For example, Mad Paper People, you were not born. What will he call him? I think he looks like a Mad Paper People. That's not your legal name. So let us know your YouTube name, your real name, your shipping address, and my team will send out the Unharmed gimmick. It's a very cool thing involving you're going to like it. It's involving a borrowed credit card. Very cool trick. Congratulations for winning. Okay, let's look at this last little detail here. There's something when I was walking through this a minute ago or so that I didn't mention that's very important for this trick to hit as hard as it can. If they press down and then you have them open and they find their card there, this will not be the last thing because everybody's going to want to go through the cards at the end to see if they find the two of clubs. So now rather than a boom, you have a moment that, is it there? Hey, Pete, is the two? No, I haven't found it yet. You sure you still haven't found it? There's got to be a duplicate. He's going through. So now this moment has been stretched out, which sometimes can work for a beat or two, but now it's been stretched out and someone's dropping cards. The trick's been ruined. Okay? That's why it's so important. It's what you do and the order in which you do it. It's like telling a joke. You tell the punchline first, it doesn't work. So press down like this. You're assuming but the card's not there. And it's that misdirection that works so well psychologically in the presentation where they're pushing and then because the whole idea is you never say it's going to be in the case. You say it's going to appear stapled to the case. No one gets ahead of that. I bet it's the staple on the inside. No, it's not here. Then you have them go through, and they go through, and this creates tension. Rather than flattening the magic moment and theatrical experience for everybody, it piques the tension. So where is the freaking card? Guy's got his sleeves up. It's a total mystery. It's a question mark. Then you give the answer, magical answer, where it all clicks together. And I love this line. I've said it on other videos where I go, actually, once before I did this, and the idea that they're in on something that happened only once before. No longer presentations, no longer big performance. It's now something organic happening there. And that's what makes this so special. Then they open, would you do me a favor and open? And now when they open it up and they find the answer to their group question is something that makes no sense at all, that only presents yet more questions, okay? Everything can be examined. There's no duplicate to be found. It is a very, very sweet trick. Don't forget, leave a comment down below. Let me know what's something funny, weird, troubling, illegal that you would do with this stuff. Maybe that you would do, but your suggestion to do with a stapler, okay? I want you to have a chance to win some free magic merch. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Take care. Take it easy. Long live. Boom, boom. Real magic.